Hi, it's Dr. Bob again from Eferralonline.com. I'd like to welcome you today to our third installment of our video series. Today is going to be kind of like a public service announcement. We're going to talk about HIPAA and high tech. I'm going to read it right off the screen, so excuse me for a second because it's way too long for me to even attempt to remember this. But high tech stands for the Health Information Technology for Economic and Clinical Health Act. This was one of the provisions of President Obama's American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. What's happened is HIPAA was in place in 1996, but it was not really enforced other than in big circles. So the federal government's looking for ways to make sure that people are HIPAA compliant. One of the reasons why I developed Eferralonline.com was I wanted to be able to send patient data to my specialist back and forth without having to worry about encryption and being not in compliance with HIPAA. And the reason why is now, and I'm going to take you to the screen here, and I have up here an article from Haller and Render. These guys are health services attorneys, and they put together a little bit of an article here. And before, HIPAA would have a $100 per violation with a $250,000 violation maximum for any sort of violation. Those were the penalties. The penalties are now up with this high-tech provision, up from $100 per violation to $50,000 per violation with a cap of $1.5 million. So that got me thinking, and I went over to the Health and Human Services website, and they have a bunch of cases that they've closed. And the latest one from just March of this year was with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Tennessee, where 57 unencrypted computer hard drives containing PHIs of over 1 million individuals were reported by the Health Information and Technology for Economic and Clinical Health High-Tech Act breach rule notification. That's a big mouthful, but what happened was there was 57 hard drives that were unencrypted on Blue Cross and Blue Shield's databases, and they had to pay out $1.5 million in fines. I'm not trying to scare you, I'm just trying to educate you as to why you should use something like Eferralonline.com. We are all going paperless, and if you're sending emails with patient data, you're really putting risk, right? So we're not going back to paper at this point. We're moving forward, and the way to do so is with Eferralonline.com. There's a few others here. If you go to their website, you'll be able to see. Here's one from Mass General Hospital just this past year as well. $1 million, 192 patients' records were mishandled. There's even one in here that I could see from a cardiac surgeon who got fined $100,000 because he was putting up his schedule for people to be able to schedule. So again, not trying to scare anyone out there, I'm not trying to tell people to go back to paper, but what I am trying to tell people is please don't be sending emails with patient records. It's just not right to do. It's not safe, not secure, and that's why we're here. So Eferralonline.com is very easy. It's just like sending an email, but it's completely encrypted, completely safe, and you know what? It's completely free. So why don't you go over to Eferralonline.com, check us out. There's some videos on there on how to get everything registered for you in your office, and we'd love to have you on. Thanks. Have a good night.